Hello, Stampin' Friends. Welcome and thank you for joining me today. Whether you are on our Facebook Live, catching the replay, or on YouTube, I'm happy to have you here. Come on in and join me. Say hello again, whether you're watching the replay, do hashtag replay, or if you're watching from YouTube, catch me there as well. Just say hello. So nice to have everybody back. There is Barb and Joan. Hello. Have everybody back. There is Barb and Joan. Hello. Okay, need to turn my speaker down. I don't know why. I always forget to do that. Oh, goodness, probably because I'm chatting with someone till the last minute. Hello, Sharon and Cheryl. Welcome, ladies. So, come on in. I am Linda Schnabel, and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Wisconsin. And if you're on my Facebook page, you notice that today I just shared a little show we have in Wisconsin called Discover Wisconsin. So they did a profile on Washington County, which was kind of cool, so I posted that. I've been doing this since 2000. So just got back from a weekend of stamping with my upline and a bunch of other demonstrators. We had a lot of fun. And I shared set samplers on my Facebook page, and I had a great response from that. And so I thought I would do one today. Something fun. I've never done one of these before, either at home or live. So we'll see what happens. And I am going to be using the Them Bones 12 by 12 designer paper and the Tricks and Treats bundle here. So, this paper is really cool. I know I've showed it already, but we're going to be using this one mainly tonight to do our sampler. And then you've seen ones like this. They're making card making so easy when they do this, because cut that in half and you pretty much got 6 fun cards. I know we did these already. So there they are. 6 fun and easy cards out of that. Oops, got something on that one. Get that off. Might be a lost ghost. It flew off the page. So there we go. Quick and easy. So we're going to show you then how you can do one of those samplers. And they started out so that like us demonstrators could show their customers and everybody what's all included like in a suite. And they're so pretty, a lot of people are now making them just to decorate their house with, because they do fit, of course, in a 12 by 12 frame. So I'm going to be using basic black 12 by 12 cardstock, and let me just tell you that this is on the clearance rack. And that was just updated today, so they have a whole lot of cool stuff in there. I posted a few things on my blog, but not nearly all the good stuff they have. There's stamp sets and designer paper and embellishments and dies and just a whole bunch of stuff. So take a peek on over there, and if you are a scrapbooker, you can get vanilla and you can get the white, and you can get all the colors in the catalog, but not black anymore. So hop on over and grab that if you like those. So, all right. We are going to take this away so we can get to cutting, because I'm going to show you how I'm actually cutting this page. We'll move our little ghost over there. And I had to laugh because when I picked this up, I'm like, oh, I forgot I cut that out of there. But you'll see why when I start to make our page. So I'm going to move all our goodies out of the way here. And we are going to start with the bottom section. And it makes it nice and easy to line this up. We're going to line it up on the little bump up here, and you can't see that, so I'm going to pull this forward just a little. Can you see that there? Am I in there? There it is. So there's a nice little ledge here that you can bump your cardstock or designer paper up to, and then I am just lining my paper right up with the blade section, and then I start in the middle and then I go back and forth, and I do that because it just makes the cut a little bit easier. Now these we are going to cut into little sections because we're going to be using these here. And I'm going to move it back up so you can see. Get back on that line. Start there, slide this one up, and then you guys can just pretend with me that I'm cutting that third one. And then you trim about 1/8 off because we need these just a little smaller. So I'm actually cutting them down to 3 3 3/4. So that's what my final thing is. And the reason I do that is because when I start this out, I lay my 12 by 12 paper out. So the cardstock gets laid out. And then I start laying my pieces out. Let me just do this so you can kind of catch my drift as I go here. Then I start laying my pieces out so I kind of get an idea of where I'm going, what size pieces I need, because I'm going to mat all this as well. All right, now we can get into here, do the same thing. We're going to cut this. And these little guys are going to get cut down quite a bit. I want the length, but I don't want the height. So I'm going to cut off this one because we're going to use that one for a card later. And then while I have both of these on here, I'm going to cut off that extra little piece that I don't need. And I will put the finished pieces, the dimensions, on my blog tomorrow. That's all trimmed, and then we are going to do this one. Now we have one more piece that's actually going on our page, so we're going to use these two. And then in comes the last one, and of course this is 6 inches in length because it's half the sheet. And then we are going to cut it down just a hair. So I'm going to take it off the bottom. All right, so now we have all our pieces cut out. Get our cutter out of the way, because of course I pre-cut all of my other pieces. We don't need those. Those go over there. And then we're going to take all of these. So we're going to grab that and bring that 12 by 12 back in here. All right. So in here, I'm doing good there. Let's bring this back in. Let's bring those 3 pieces back in here. So we got our 1 and our 2 and our 3. So those are our top ones. And as you can see, I've cut the mask a little bit, about 1/4 inch all the way around so that we get a nice mat. And I did the white because we do have some white sprinkled in here. And then I did Cajun Craze because there is a little Cajun Craze in almost every one. And I didn't want to use the pumpkin pie because I thought it was a little too bright. It clashed with that guy, so we kind of stayed away from that. So let me grab my adhesive. And because I'm using designer paper, I prefer to use adhesive over the glue because sometimes the glue gives you that little wobbly look. Because, yeah, I get a little heavy-handed with that. I don't know if you do as well, but I do. So if I'm not saying hello to people who are popping in, I apologize. But I froze up here. I think you guys are fine, but for some reason my computer froze up. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully I'm back. There we go. Okay. And then you get that nice rich coloring going on in here, right? Okay. Let's get our trick or treat on. There we go. Again, the white really makes those little white bats pop. Really makes the entire page kind of pop. You also notice that I am not using a whole lot of adhesive, and the reason is it's either going to be tucked into like a scrapbook page or into a, what am I thinking here? Into a frame, the 12 by 12s. And you can get those at your crafty stores. So there we go. And hello, Cameron. I'll have to message you and answer later. Oh, gosh. All right. So there is the top half of our page. So isn't that cute? Now, we just can't leave them alone. This one I might, unless I add, grab my Stella here, and just add a little Stella to our white, so we get a little sparkle there. Then she doesn't look so plain, right? And I didn't want to add more bats. So, and you could actually add just a little sparkle to your moon back there. There we go. Now we're going to take that pretty little kitty, and we are going to take dent pull. This guy's sticky. I won't have to worry about that one not or coming off the page. There we go. Pick those off. All right, and I'm going to line this up here, and I'm going to trim just a little bit of this off, and I'm just going to do that with my scissors, because I don't think you have to be too fancy, and just a little bit. But I'm going to put a little adhesive down here. And this is why you saw that pulled out, because I wanted my little gravestone and my kitty to pop. And I'm going to put just a little on my kitty's eyes too. There we go. Now, since we have a sweet little spotlight here, we are going to grab a skeleton, which I cut out from one of the other sheets of designer paper. So they give you so much fun stuff to work with. Now, had I purchased them bones, bundle or suite, I would have gotten the dies that actually cut this out, but I didn't because I thought I'd get a little more use out of the tricks and treats. You know, we all have to do that. That's a big mini, right? What's mini about that catalog? But there's a lot of good stuff in there, so it was really hard to choose which ones you were going to get. So we're going to get our little dancing skeleton right under the spotlight. So, little disco for that guy, huh, Cameron? He's dancing to Donna Summer, if anybody wants to know. So, there we go with the top half of our sampler here. And now we're going to just slide this up a little, and I'll tack that all down later. Just want you to see how that fits and how we got that. Karen says, he is cute. Yes, he is, isn't he? So, and I don't know if he's dancing to I Will Survive, but, oh no, that's not Donna Summer, is it? All right, now let's get our other papers in here. Same thing we did with those. We got the papers cut down to 2 1/4 by 4. So then, of course, our whites are 2 1/2 by 4 1/4, and the Cajun Craze is 2 3/4 by 4 1/2. So we'll get these all tacked back there. And I really didn't mind using up this paper because to me, those little boos on the back were backwards. So it's kind of, I'm trying really hard not to be a perfectionist. I was before I started stamping. I'm totally getting over it now. And we don't make mistakes. We just make room for embellishments. Right, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, gosh, Karen says, I think he's staying alive. Oh, well, if he's alive, I want to know what his diet plan is. Because, not that I want my bones sticking out, but there we go. We got a little boo in here. And since we have a dark color up here, I'm going to put that Cajun Craze right up here. And then we will decorate that. I thought, what better thing to use than our haunted house? And if we got a boo, I guess that means we need a haunting. So we're going to put our little ghost right there. So we're just going to pop him in. We'll put him right there. Don't need to do much with this. Again, if you want to keep going with that Wink of Stella, we can definitely do that in our boo. And you could probably even do your ghost like that. And we're going to get some dimensionals up in here. Get our little ghost on. I mean our house. Little haunted house. I did a house in yellow. And I did one in the Cajun Craze. But I actually liked it on the white best because it just tied that color in all over. So we're just going to do a little tippy there. And so it's not all straight. Want to have a little fun with that, right? And I was going to stamp bats on there, but it already has bats. So I just thought I would leave that, and it looks nice and clean and fresh. Okay, we only have one left, and that's our big one here. And to fill in this little space, I just grabbed a piece of scrap from some other project I was working on. And I cut a little strip off the bottom here. There's those bats for you, Karen. On the back of those bats is that pretty blue star. So we are going to use that. And it pulls all the blues together. So let's just quick put this together, and then we will finish that off. Now, you could, if you wanted to, pop all your pieces up here with dimensionals, or you could put them directly down on top of your 12 by 12 paper, cardstock actually. There we go. All right, so now this may be somebody's fenced yard, but in my head, it's a graveyard. So I took the little tag punch or die out of the, I'll get it, the Tricks and Treats bundle, and I die cut these, and I'm going to turn these into little gravestones. All right, so in our club, we were using Cajun Craze and the little sponge here. So I wanted to make my tombstones look a little old. So you'd be surprised how much ink is still in these. So I didn't even have to re-ink these. And now I'm just going to dab this on here, so it gives it kind of that old look. Instead of just that solid gray, it looks kind of old. And then the Cajun Craze goes nicely with the rest of our project, right? And now we have to pick out a fun little name for our tombstone. It's too funny because I had a whole bunch of them, and I'll show those to you. And this one, his name is Izzy, or her name. And then their last name is Still Dead. So get it? Izzy Still Dead? Are you laughing? Oh, let's do 1836 to 1921. Yes. That guy got to live for a long time. Nice and happy, long life. So, I made a whole bunch of cute ones. We have Izzy Still Dead, Will Be Back, Frank and Stein, Dusty Brains, and Justin Pieces. So I don't think we could, I don't think we need all 5 of those because it would cover up half our thing. But oh my gosh, I was having so much fun coming up with names for my tombstones that now I have to go make some extra cards for this. So I like Will Be Back and Justin Pieces. So let's use those 2 first. And I'm going to add just a little bit more sponging to that guy right there on the top. It also pops them out a little bit. Let's take our scissors and just cut off the bottom so it looks like a true tombstone. And then we can add a little bit of, I know you guys didn't know I was a comedian, did you? Okay, so Will is going to go, guess where? In the back. All right, so Will is going to go in the back, and we'll just put him here. And then Justin, well, Justin is going to come up in the front. And normally I'd put 3, but I really don't want to block that beautiful full moon that's behind the fence, so we'll put that here. You'll see most of it because I got one more thing I got to do here. So here's Justin. We'll put him down here. And then Will, I'm actually going to put a dimensional behind Will. So that pops up a little bit, right? Gives us some dimension. And then, if Will is coming back, then he needs to be represented. So there's Will, and he is coming back. So we're going to put another little ghost back there. So, I don't know. Can we get one more in here? Should we go, is he still dead? Yeah, well, I like him better than Frankenstein. We're going to put this guy in here. Just because it'll bring, and we can still see the moon. Too much fun. These things really are fun to make. You can decorate your house with them. And then once they're done, you can stick them in a scrapbook and save it for next year. Or you can put your kids' trick-or-treat Halloween costume pictures in there. Or any of the little ghouls and goblins who come to your doors. So we're just going to tuck Izzy right down here. So they're kind of scattered all over. And I know these are not available right now, but I am going to use those little glow-in-the-dark bats over here because he just seems awful lonely over there, that little kitty. So we're going to get, whoops, he's upside down. So we're going to get this flying over there. There we go. Now, let's see if we can get this whole page on here. And I will tack it down later. You guys don't need to watch me do that, right? Okay. So there we go. I think we almost got it all in. And there is our little Halloween sampler. And that is how easy they are to make. And you saw the Thanksgiving one, and there was a like a spring or summer one. So if you want to see those, go back on my Facebook page, because that's where they are. Christmas, Thanksgiving, and a summer one. Those are the two that, or the three that I put on there. So yeah, super simple, really easy to do. You could do this with your kids or your grandkids, and I think they would have a fun time making those little gravestones, especially trying to come up with fun little names. I do like We'll Be Back and Just in Pieces. We're pretty cute. But I've been using Izzy Still Dead for a long time. So I want to thank you all for coming. I don't have my spin thing set up, and I'm getting a whole bunch of fun prizes to give away. So I may be spinning tomorrow for all of my watchers last week, right? I think so. So I wish Facebook would allow me to set this up while I'm busy talking. Either that or I need a little helper, and then we could do it the same night. So let me work on that, because that would be more fun. So thank you for joining me. Again, this is the Them Bones 12 by 12 paper and the Tricks and Treats bundle. The the 12 by 12 black cardstock is on sale in the clearance rack right now. And you can find me online at lindaloves.stampinup.net. And our host code for September is DFCTM336. So, delightful fall crafts this morning. I know it's not morning for us, but however you can remember. So, have yourself a wonderful evening, and I will be drawing tomorrow for last week's people, and then I'll be back on track next week. So, thank you again. You have a wonderful evening, and enjoy your night. Thanks.